Hey everyone, it's Timid Falconite back with more Road to 1.1k, and today's match is going to be this Tier 1 standard match on Virtutus Solaris again, but this time against a Javier player. So, if you don't know Javier, well, I guess I will briefly go over Javier in standard. Javier is good in maps which have uh, 4 towers almost exclusively. He's like kind of busted on those, honestly, because then he's got an extra 20% defense, so his day-to-day stats actually become stronger than Von Volt's on 2 tower per player maps. And then he's also good in maps which have indirect, which are more, I guess, based around indirects. So there's that, because he gets that defensive bonus against indirects. Virtutus Solaris, however, is not one of this map. It's a very open map. It's got 2 towers, so it's not really a Javier map. That's why he's at 39% win rate on this map compared to like Hawk even at 48, but Longbolt with a 64. And if you look at the unit data here, artillery isn't really that useful in this map. It's just because this map is just a tanks infantry spam fest basically, with a couple of other things thrown in here and there, but like basically just infantry and tanks. So I think I've already. Yeah, I'm not going to go over Virtutus again. It's a pretty small map. So I think I'm actually going to... This is going to be a pretty quick preamble today, so I'm actually going to go ahead and... start the actual replay analysis. So, starting out with infantry, obviously, and heading north here to get an early start on heading towards the comm tower and the airport. And then I'm going to send like 1 or 2 guys to go back for the other properties. But advancing towards this early on is important because it sort of forces your opponent to build an anti-air, which, because this map is so heavily focused on like tanks and stuff, you can't really afford to spend an extra 8k on an anti-air when you sort of just need to spend it on infantry and tanks. So moving the infantry here, you can see here my opponent's basically doing the same thing as me, sort of trying to rush this area, ignoring these for right now. Well, slowly going for them anyways. And then I'm getting the first tank out here, and my opponent is obviously going to have to respond to that. Well, map analysis, let's check the map analysis for this. Yeah, player 1 basically has that advantage because they can get the first tank out and then just determine how play will go from that point on. So yeah, and then just tank chaining here. So keeping the tanks together, and then having them cover this central area here as well. Like he can't move into this, take this city with this guy, so. Well, I mean he can, but it's not like consistent. So that's the thing. So I'm moving in with the infantry here, kicking him off basically. Well, almost kicking him off there. Since I don't have the comm tower up. Oh wait, actually, you know what's funny? Comm tower there. So this was a massive mistake on my part, actually. If I had taken this comm tower, then I would have been able to clear that infantry. But because I waited until the end of my turn to get this comm tower, he still has that extra 2 health infantry there, which it's not really going to matter too much, but it's going to be annoying to deal with this blocker unit here. And my units took more damage than they needed to. So, yeah, not capping that was actually a very big mistake on my part here. And then I'm moving eastward with this tank to try and cover my upper infantry here with it while staying in range of my upper tank. So we've got a good deal of overlap with the tanks here. And obviously just keep on, I'm just continuing to chain this as much as I can here. So he gets the first strike there. Got 2 tanks in the center here. They're sort of spread out a little bit. So we're not really able to assist his infantry that much right now. And I go ahead and start with this attack into from the forest here. Now the reason I do that, honestly, it's not the best move here, if I'm being perfectly honest, but I kind of wanted to keep this infantry as healthy as I could. So there's that, and he can't really attack into here, into this tank. Well, let's see. Because he's not going to have 20% attack power, but if he's attacking into here, actually, yeah, that's going to be plenty enough to be able to KO my tank here, I think. Yeah, 48 plus 53 is 101, so that's definitely guaranteed. So he could take out my tank here. The only issue with that is like he'd be leaving his upper tank exposed on the plains here. So there's that. And then I'm going for the tank here and then the recon here. The recon I'm having here just send out to the west to harass his infantry here because he doesn't really have any tanks over here. So I'm sort of trying to draw some of his tanks away to over here with that recon. And then I've also got this guy here to sort of draw the tanks over this way a little bit as well. So he moves in, takes out my tank like that, takes a nice shot on my infantry there. And he actually goes over the artillery. I think I forget how good this artillery was, but there is a spot like in this area where it can be sort of useful. And like artillery is always good if you back up infantry with it. I'm just not so sure that it's going to be all that relevant here because I'm about to get this airport, so I'm going to be able to build battlecopters to deal with it if I want to. And as you can see here, taking first strikes on his exposed tanks like so, and using the terrain to my advantage as much as I can. So now it's well, he's pretty significantly debuffed in this area, taking out his unit there, so more giving me a slight, like right now I'm behind in unit count pretty significantly, mainly due to bad infantry engagements that I took early on, but now I'm starting to make it back a little bit. And a lot of his units in this area are also weakened, so as far as unit count goes, it's a little bit deceptive to have like 20 for right now, but it doesn't really show the whole story. But so he almost gets a one-shot there, but not quite. And then he's still attacking with that guy, which is fine, but and now he's got the tank over here as well to deal with my recon. So I've got my tank to back up my recon now, and now he's trying to zone me out with the artillery with it, which excuse me, which is sort of covering his stuff here, but it's not really, honestly. It's protecting this tank and maybe one of his infantry, but like it's not going to matter too much. This tank here is going to be much more effective at guarding the tanks and getting me off of his ass there. So moving in with the first strike there, And going back for healing there. Joining there. So that I have my units at a bit of a strong fire strength, because like I'm not going to be able to do much with just the one off infantry there. And basically all that's left here is just weakened infantry on his side as well. So 6 health is going to be the extra health point is going to be nice here at the very least. You can't move in because of this forest here. You can't really move in with his tank to reinforce here quite yet. So I'm sort of pivoting over to the west here with my units, getting the medium tank as well out here. So I'm definitely making a push over here at this point. And then he's not really going for the recon because he's not going to be able to take it out from the forest with just 10% extra firepower. And like if he moved in with the tank here, he'd be attacking from like, I'm assuming just from a road, which would be really bad for him because I got 2 tanks in the area. So he's holding on here for right now, but he's definitely got to reinforce in this area, which he's pivoting his tanks over a little bit to do that, but I've got a medium tank in the area, so he's got to be able to do something better than that. And actually, because it's Javier, this is actually getting guaranteed. So that's a decent thing from Javier, is he's able to stop Hawk from doing the 20% firepower to guaranteed overwhelm cities thing. With 30%, that's not going to matter. So once if Hawk has his powers up, and like if he has his powers up, it's going to be draining the health anyways. But yeah, I guess basically it. Moving in to attack the tank there. Honestly, the main reason I did that was just because he's got tanks and stuff in the area, and I've sort of moved all my main forces over this way. So I want to do as much damage with these healthy infantry as I can before they get taken out. And then just trying to keep a little bit of a defensive position here, but we're going to get overwhelmed for sure here. And then just keeping up the tank pressure on the west side here. So he's moving in here. I'm also sort of trying to distract him from this cap, so it doesn't move in with like his other units against it, but like I'm not gonna be able to take that cap for sure now. So and he's gonna be able to sort of wipe up this area pretty easily as well. And he goes for the anti-air here as well. Because yeah. But I am able to move in with my medium tank towards this area because there's not really much running in this area. Like he's got artillery that he's starting to spam out now. But it's going to be sort of hard for him to... he's got artillery in the area that he can use to effectively zone out stuff here, so... I'm not sure how bad that is. Honestly, that wasn't the best move with the tanks here, because he's got a lot of tanks in the area. But hopefully I'm going to be able to at least take this cap. I think it was my idea here. Was to secure this capture, maybe. So we will see if I'm able to do that or not. And then I go for the second medium tank on the right side as well, to deal with the tanks and stuff. So I'm using that to sort of guard my healthy infantry in this area as much as I can. And then he goes for the tower shield here. So that's going to be a little bit of extra defense and firepower for him. So that's going to probably allow him to prevent this cap here. I want him to just yeet that unit there, and yeah, like the tank there. But if I want to, I can move in with the tank and stuff. I know, but I'll be able to get the artillery shot on as well. So maybe not the best idea here. So here I just go in like that, pick out well, I don't even take out that. I believe this was a roll, if I remember correctly. So I think I wanted to... Yeah, I think it's... I was assuming that he had a little bit of extra health damage, so this was definitely within the realm of possibility of getting a kill there. So I wanted to do that first, just to see if I could get it, but I didn't end up getting it, so oh well. But I move in with my other units like so, and clear as much of a path through the infantry here as I can. Basically just wiping out his unit count as much as I can, so I can start moving into overwhelm in there. And because the way I'm doing this is I'm trying to just stay out of range, basically just give too many targets for him to actually deal with here. So I'm moving like that for that reason. And he's gonna get an artillery shot off on my medium tank there, which isn't the best, but I'll be able to heal that off with Hawk's superpower in a second. I believe was my plan, because that's only doing like 2 damage here. And he's sincerely losing units in this area. I'm sort of overwhelming him at this point. So he's moving in with his units like this, and he's getting a medium tank here, which is smart because now I'm sort of forcing my medium tank back a little bit. So I move in, basically take out the anti-air there. But that was an important move just so that I could get the superpower here, and then that allows me to overwhelm that, and that, honestly, no, that's fine, that's fine. So now I just run roughshod over his lines over here. I actually go ahead and just take out the 1 health infantry of the medium tank. And then just so that I can get through this gap, and then I just move in with my infantry and stuff. Here. So now I've actually taken the unit count lead, at least temporarily. So that's good. And I have the extra defense from superpower, so like that hurts a good amount, but like it's not the end of the world. And because the anti-air is sort of like dead at this point, it means I can move in with the battlecruiser to support now. He takes out the tank here, and he almost takes out the tank there. Does a good amount to my recon, but like 4 health recon is still very serviceable. You'll be able to interrupt the cap very effectively with that much health, so it's still going to be fine to do its job. It's just to harass infantry, basically. So I move in with a battlecopter like so, and I just go and basically overwhelm his lines here as well, so. Move the infantry there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's not going to be able to get to my battlecopter no matter what, because he's not going to be able to reach this forest with the anti-air. And yeah, so I get the first strike on his medium tank as well here. It's in the forest, so it's not like the best first strike here, but there's not really too much in this area that's really threatening to my medium tank at this point. So that's perfectly fine for me. I got the second recon here, which I just used to interrupt the cap here even more. I actually joined cap here. I think I did that mainly for extra funds, so I can get a medium tank and 2 infantry here. Because I think I only had, yeah, I only had 18k before that, so that allowed me to get an extra infantry there. And he actually is able to take out my medium tank there by hopping a superpower, but at this point I've got another medium tank inbound, and his tank's at health. His medium tank is at like half health anyway, so it's not the most effective right now. That's a very good first strike for him though. Javier's superpower is not something to be laughed at. The firepower and defense he gets from it is really, really good. But it's only for like 1 turn though, so keep that in mind. It's not It's not nearly as good as like Hawk's freaking Black Storm. And I start capping the airport here. So I'm going to be able to, and I'm moving in with my other units over here as well to sort of just secure his airport. What's the plan here? Basically finish off any hopes that he's going to have of capping that property ever. He's never going to be able to do that at this point. And then I just basically wipe out as many units as I can over here. Get 2 damage off on the infantry there. Honestly, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Nah. Like I could have maybe. Well, actually, I think it probably would have been perfectly safe to just move in and get the strike off on this guy, because I don't think he'd be able to push his anti-air through my infantry if I wiped him out. Like, but yeah. So he takes me out with his medium tank there, which is actually perfectly fine by me. He's sort of wasting his units over here for right now. And then I've got 2 turns left on this guy. So, but he is moving in with his units here, so I'm sort of iffy on whether I'm going to be able to get that cap or not. But I do move in like that. So he's only got 3 health here. I only need 6 health on my infantry here in either way. So I move in, take out his infantry there, because I think my battlecopter had nothing better to do because of this anti-air zoning it out in this area. And then just moving in with my other units over here. At this point, I've definitely got a unit count lead and a value lead, even though we're tied on income. And that's sort of just how Hawk works. If he's allowed to just keep on staying around, every time he pops a superpower, it's another just big, large amount of funds that his opponents just denied. On a smaller map like this, it's not like that big of a deal, but it snowballs very effectively on larger maps than this. And then I build the second battlecopter here to sort of just make it so that he has to build another anti-air if he wants to guard against both of them. So he actually manages to save himself another turn here. Well, actually, he just wipes me out. So that cap wasn't going to kill him. He moves in with the medium tank here, which is, I don't know if that's the best move there. It's alright, I guess. So I pop my power here, and then I just start overwhelming his lines over here. So I go for the shot there on the mech. Start capping those 2, get the first strike there, and basically then wipe out his artillery, which is important. Now I got 2 medium tanks in this area, so like he's not gonna have enough income to be able to deal with that at this point. Moving in with my battlecopter as well, because he only has 1 anti-air in the area, so he's going to be sort of trapped there as far as that goes. And I'm definitely going to take the income lead next turn because of this property here. It doesn't matter about these upper caps don't really matter. They basically just serve to stall his units over in this area to prevent him from reinforcing with like his vehicles. Yeah, with his vehicles mainly. As you can see here, the anti-air he was forced to build here isn't going to be in much use either. You know what I mean? I'm just dart back with the battlecopter, and I would build another one over here as well. I actually base skip here because I needed the battlecopter more of an extra infantry, basically. I could have probably gotten another tank if I wanted to, but I'm already pretty significantly ahead in unit count, so it's not going to matter that much. He takes out my battlecopter, one of my battlecopters, but I got like number 2, so it's not going to matter too much. Yeah. So I'm able to just move in like that. We take out his anti-air more or less effectively there. Finish off his mech. Finish off his anti-air with a battlecopter. And get a shot off with my battlecopter here. I mean, that's relatively safe. But if he decides to move back and try and take out my battlecopter with his anti-air, he's going to be base blocking himself. Which he only has, he's not going to have enough money to even get a medium tank next turn. So at this point, I've definitely just won, more or less. He's going to be able to take me out there. Well, actually, not even. But if he had been able to, I think he was trying to get to this battlecopter with this guy. Which he only has like 11k in the bank. So that's not like, he's like completely out of money at this point. That's part of this talk, and he resigns. Because, well, just look at the board status. I've basically overwhelmed his main production area over here. He's got a good amount of units over in this area, but they're not going to be able to make it here in time to actually be able to help out. Man, I basically just overwhelmed him. If you want, and he's also got, he doesn't have enough money to be able to do anything here, is the thing. Like he could get a tank maybe. He can't really take out this tank on this guy, so if he wanted, he could maybe do a mech, but I've got battlecopters in the area to deal with those. And I'm spamming in more of them as well, so he can't really do anything against them except build anti-air. And I've got medium tanks in the area to deal with anti-air, so he just got overwhelmed by it. Just the sheer value I was able to build up. And that was a good part of that was due to Hawk's power and superpower. It's very, very strong, especially on larger maps, but even on smaller maps like this that are more open. Like Javier doesn't really have and you really shouldn't be bringing Javier to this map, I think, is the main mistake my opponent made here. But yeah. So that's basically it, actually. Kind of a shorter thing for today. Next week, so shorter map for today. Next week is going to be this map on Binary Star. This one's going to be Jake versus Jess, and so that's going to show. Well, this is a B rank standard map. The comp powers are locked. I'll go over it next week, but it's an interesting map. I will say that. So stay tuned in next week. Tune in next week for this Jake versus Jess matchup, and I guess that's it. Like and subscribe and all that nonsense, and I will see you guys then. Bye.